We now go on to our first of two junior road tax races here at Arena E. And here is the grid. Starting from pole position will be the 245 of Farin Mega with Raphael Renhofer in the 233 alongside. Road 2 is the 210 of JJ Racing's Maurice Schmeis, and then RS Competition's Valentin Klus in the 201. Nikita Genza in the 226 and Rafael Balza in the 217 will be on row number 3, ahead of Denmark's Magnus Pedersen in the 247, with Nevio Fischer in the 236 alongside. Completing the top 10, it is Leon Arndt in the 208 and Yanni Stiak in the 238. Kian Agasade in the 262, Richard Thomas in the 205, Denmark's Mikkel Pedersen in the 252, Louis Jacobs in the 228, Corben Hilbrands in the 241 and Din Jurich in the 219 complete the 16-strong grid. 11 minutes plus an additional lap now set on the timer, and the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry. So we'll be down to both Farin Mega and Rafael Renhofer to control the rolling start formation pace. As coming out of the final chicane, they will be indicated to slow down. It will be at yellow flag conditions, which will enable a chance for the rest of the field to get into the relevant grid positions. So at a very slow rolling start pace, the junior road tax drivers come through the right-hand corner to bring them onto the start-finish straight. They split, head into the tram lines. Revs rise. And it's a good start. We are off and away in racing. And already Maurice Schmeis trying to get up the inside of Rafael Renhofer to take second position, which happens through turn number 2. As Renhofer coming under fire very, very quickly. And that is the 226 of Nikita Genza, as it is getting very, very close at the front of the field as they come through the chicane out of the infield part of the circuit. As now the lead is in the hands of Maurice Schmeis, who has also managed to get past Farin Mega, now down into second. Renhofer and Nikita Genza round out the top 4 positions. Through the final chicane for the first time, the 247 of Magnus Pedersen now up into 5th and is trying to close down on Nikita Genza. So we come around the final corner to complete lap number 1. Schmeis leading and has got Farin Mega for close company, as Nikita Genza trying to go up the inside of Rafael Renhofer to take 3rd place, and neatly gets the job done before the exit of turn number 3. Mega still keeping Schmeis under pressure for the lead of the race. And the fastest lap so far is from Maurice Schmeis, who put in a 53.910. And now the battle for the lead is going to be, as we've had someone come off of the track and go into the barriers just off the second to last chicane, with the driver getting out of the kart unassisted. So now Nikita Genza is closing on Farin Mega for second position. Magnus Pedersen trying to close on Rafael Renhofer, but goes round to the outside of the FM Racing driver, but manages not to get past. That allows Valentin Klus to close up. As now Nikita Genza hits the front of the field. Farin Mega in second. Maurice Schmeis now down into 3rd position. And it's Renhofer. Magnus Pedersen, Valentin Klus. And also just behind, they've got the 217 of Rafael Balza. So drivers now going through to the double right-hander that will complete the lap. 8 minutes and 30, plus an additional lap still to go in this first of 2 junior road tax races. And the top 3 very closely, tightly packed as Schmeiz goes up the inside of Mega into second position. And we've had a 5-second penalty issued to the 2.62 of Kian Agasadeh. As Schmeiz goes up the inside of him again, Nikita Genza, who then counter-attacks as it's nearly 2 abreast coming through the exit of the chicane. Schmeiz gets compromised, Mega gets through, and it's 3 abreast. As around the outside goes Valentin Klus on Maurice Schmeiz, trying to get past Raphael Renhofer in the process, but has to go back into 4th position. So now Nikita Genza hits the front of the field and is trying to start pulling away, as we've had one of the drivers, the 2.47 of Magnus Pedersen, having dramas coming out of the final chicane. 2 wheels on the grass on the right-hand side. So Genza now leads by 0.4 of a second ahead of Farin Mega, as Maurice Schmeiz is coming under fire now from Rafael Balza, who's up into 6th place. So Richard Thomas, unfortunately, is the one that ended up in the barriers on the left-hand side of the penultimate chicane of the circuit in the 2.05. Now, the gap was 0.4 of a second between Nikita Genza and Farin Mega for the lead, but Raphael Renhofer looks to be closing, as does Valentin Klus. Schmeiz now down into 5th place ahead of Balza in the 2.17. Then it's Mikkel Pedersen in the 2.52 that rounds out the top 7 as Farin Mega gets ever closer to the back bumper of Nikita Genza for the lead. Mega getting a good run out of turn 3. But in the meantime, Raphael Renhofer is closing and has just set the fastest lap of the race of 51.625. Klus, Schmeiz, Balza, Mikkel Pedersen, Leon Arndt, Janis Stiak and Magnus Pedersen now round out the top 10. So we have just under 6 minutes of this 11-minute plus an additional lap race. And Nikita Genza will lead them across the start-finish line to complete lap number 6. Mega gets a good run coming out of the final corner. Goes towards the inside of the 2.26, but decides not to go for it on that particular occasion. Renhofer closing up as Mega goes towards the inside of Genza for the next corner. Renhofer trying to go through and does so. So in just one corner, Nikita Genza drops from the lead to 3rd position. But whilst this has been happening, Valentin Klus and Maurice Schmeiz are now closing back on the top 3. Rafael Balza has got a couple of kart lengths advantage over Mikkel Pedersen from Denmark. As the 2.08 of Leo Arndt is now battling away with Janis Stiak in the 2.38. Magnus Pedersen still completing the top 10. As now Raphael Renhofer will try and go for the lead and gets across the line in ahead of Farin Mega and was 21 thousandths ahead of the 2.45 coming across the start-finish line. And now the battle really kicks up another level of intensity as Valentin Klus in the 2.01 joins the fray. Schmeiz is still there. And the top 5 have got Rafael Balza in the 2.17, not that far adrift, along with Mikkel Pedersen. And now Renhofer trying to start to claw an advantage over the 4 karts behind. And the top 5 were covered by just over 8.5 tenths of a second on the last lap around. We now come to complete lap number 8. Just under 4 minutes to go, as Klus being hounded by Maurice Schmeiz for 4th place. Renhofer, Mega, Genza, Klus and Schmeiz. That's the top 5 at the moment. And they were covered by just a fraction under 0.79 of a second. So Janis Stierk, unfortunately, has dropped down to 15th position. As Lewis Jacobs and Corbin Hilbrands battling away for what is 12th on the road. Leaders come around the final corner once again. Mega in the slipstream of Renhofer. Across the start-finish line. As Mikkel Pedersen trying to close up on Rafael Balzer, as now Mega goes round towards the outside and clashes with Renhofer, and that allows Genzer and also Valentin Klus to get past. And now Klus was nearly thinking of going up the inside of Genzer, going into that corner, but was not close enough. So just 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go, plus an additional lap. Genzer starting to break away from Mega. It's Valentin Klus who's up into second position. Farin Mega down to third place as a result of trying to get around the outside of Rafael Renhofer, who now tries to go up the inside of the 245. The Karchmi.de driver goes on the ultra defensive, going through the right-hand kink as they head down towards turn 2. Now they come out of 3. Onto the main infield straight away. As now, that was a good move there by Renhofer, who goes up the inside of Mega, but then Mega counter-attacks and gets back up the inside of the 233 from FM Racing, and that allows Morris Schmeiss in the meantime to get past the FM Racing driver up into 4th position. Rafael Balzer now is on the back bumper pretty much of Renhofer in 6th position, and along with the 217, the 252 of Denmark's Mikkel Pedersen now is going to have an opportunity to gain at least a couple of positions, but the leaders come across the line. Genzer leads from Klus. Gap was 0.174 of a second as Klus looked to the inside there of Nikita Genzer for the lead. Renhofer now closing on the back bumper of the 210 of Morris Schmeiss, going into the next corner. Goes up the inside and then goes a bit wide. Schmeiss goes back up the inside of the 233 to take the position. And now this time Rafael Balzer gets right round past Rafael Renhofer and now gets up into 5th place. Under 50 seconds to go, and the top 3 being led by Nikita Genzer, with Farin Mega in 2nd. Farin Mega in 3rd. With Valentin Klus in 2nd place. Now Klus looks to be a bit closer this time. Goes towards the inside as they come out of the right-hand kink and into turn 2. Valentin Klus gets up the inside of Nikita Genzer to take the lead. Mega just keeping the head down and trying to keep in the toe of both drivers up front. As now Morris Schmeiss is ahead of Rafael Renhofer, who loses out in the chicane. Loses, I think the back end stepped out a little bit there on the FM Racing driver's cart, and that allowed Rafael Balzer to get back up into 5th position. And now Mikkel Pedersen fancies an opportunity at getting past the FM Racing driver. So the timer is now expired. This time around we'll go on to the final lap. So Klus leads, Genzer 2nd, Farin Mega in 3rd. 4th is Morris Schmeiss, 5th is Rafael Balzer. Genzer looks and tries to see if he can get past Valentin Klus, who goes ultra defensive, but that allows Farin Mega to try and get alongside the 226. Gets back behind and then goes towards the outside, heading into the next corner. Genzer goes defensive and tries to see if there's an opportunity to try and attack Valentin Klus, who steelily defends quite well through the exit chicane. But then Genzer pounces on the inside, retakes the lead. So we've just got a handful of corners to go. Morris Schmeiss now will try and catch up, but is, I think, probably a few kart lengths away too far behind, as Farin Mega will now try and challenge Valentin Klus for 2nd position as they go into the penultimate right-hander and gets the switchback. Nicely done there. Valentin Klus runs wide, and then Morris Schmeiss comes through to take P3, but Nikita Genzer wins the dogfight. Farin Mega takes 2nd, Morris Schmeiss 3rd, Valentin Klus in 4th place ahead of Rafael Balzer, who's had a best finish of the weekend in 5th place. Mikkel Pedersen pips Raphael Renhofer to 6th position at the flag by 48 thousandths of a second. Nevio Fischer in 8th, Magnus Pedersen in 9th, ahead of Leo Arndt, Kian Agasade, who had a 5-second penalty post-race for pushing. Corbin Hilbrands, Lewis Jacobs and Din Jurich round out the 14 classified drivers that finished, with Janis Diak's race ending on lap 7 and Richard Thomas's race finishing early on lap number 1. But what a race, with Nikita Genza winning the first Junior Road Tax race here at Arena E.